This is I on the Candy, who we call Candy, and he is a 6 year old and he's a 16 two-hand thoroughbred gelding out of a Tappet line by He's Had Enough. And so this is his first big ride out in the field, and we always I always encourage letting them stop for snacks. Of course, at appropriate moments. If we're trotting around, it's not appropriate to yank your head down and stop and get some grass. But I do encourage them to snack when we're on a loose rein because I think that when they're snacking on grass, that means that they have to have a certain degree of relaxation. And I also like chewing encourages relaxation as well. So I'm all for it to let them stop and get snacks when we're on break time or when we first get out there. So anyway, that's that. This horse went so nicely today. He has made such a huge amount of progress since he came. Not that in any way that he was a difficult horse when he came, but he just continues to get more comfortable with being round and straight. And the best thing about him today was his fantastic canter transitions. We've worked a lot on his canter transitions because he is a very quiet, easygoing horse, but for whatever reason, he just sort of felt the need to scoot into the canter. And so, of course, I wanted to even that out. And so, Alyssa and I have both ridden him. We've both spent quite a bit of time working on those canter transitions, and there you go, that was his first canter transition of the day, and he just literally stepped into the canter, and that's exactly what we want. And I could not have been more proud of this horse because that is the first time that he's come out and on the very first canter transition just calmly stepped into the canter without any break in rhythm or coming up against the contact. So that really made my day right there, that one step into the canter. And it was actually, I mean, to me, it's even more um, impressive because we're out in the field, right? So it's not like he's in the ring where he's been ridden now a dozen times. He's out in a new big environment that tends to get their blood up a little bit more. And so if there was a time that I would probably be more lenient with him on his canter transitions, it would probably be his first ride in the field. But actually he nailed it today. So that right there made my whole day. So he did a beautiful canter transition. As you can see, it took me, I don't know, maybe this stretch down the road to get him to soften up and sort of relax into the balance of the canter. It was funny. It was almost like he did this beautiful relaxed transition and then he had like a delayed response. Like 3 or 4 steps later, he was like, "Oh my God, I just did that." Like it was shocking. But anyway, he did very nicely relax into the canter and this work here felt very good. So this was great. Couldn't be more happy with how that went. He also was excellent because this Amazon driver was coming up and down the driveway and he just was good about ignoring all of that. So then this was funny. So we had done a nice canter around. I'm thinking, I'm so happy with this horse. And then we're coming back up the hill here and he just steps into the canter again, which was hilarious because I actually didn't ask him to canter again. But he's just like, okay, I've got this whole canter transition thing down pat. So right there, I didn't ask for that transition, but it was a beautiful transition. So I have no complaints about it. If he wants to practice his canter transitions, he is more than welcome to. He was also super about ignoring all the traffic going by. The traffic goes so fast and there's dump trucks and I don't know, it scares me, but he was fabulous. He also did some lovely work to the right. He is soft like this. I just think he makes such a gorgeous uphill shape. And he is so, so happy in this bit. This is the D-Ring Hermspringer duo. And the more we ride him in this bit, I mean, literally, his tongue did not come out at all today. So he's getting stronger and more secure and being round, and he loves the bit. And so we did some work to the right, and then we stopped for a break, so he got a little snack. And then he was being really good. So I thought, okay, this is an appropriate time to start him over some logs in the field because he's just being very chill. So I always like to let them walk over a whole bunch of stuff. Gives their time, excuse me, it gives their brain time to process everything. And he was great. I mean, he's never seen any of this stuff and he was happy to march over everything, even the little black pipe. And this was great because he landed in the right lead canter. And so he's very married to the left lead right now. And so we've been getting the right lead over poles and little jumps and things like that. But it was great that the first time we went up to the log, he just wanted to land on the right canter. So good boy. He's getting the hang of this whole thing. Good boy, landing on his right lead. He is a really confident jumper, to be honest. I mean, he's extremely straight. He's not looky. He just feels very confident within himself about. Now, of course, I'm being careful. I don't want to overface him at all. I want to let him build his confidence. And I feel like it's our responsibility that at the end of a jump school, especially with these young, impressionable horses, they should feel like, they're the bomb.com. Like they were little champions of their world on that day. And I certainly think that he felt that way. He started confident and he ended with even more confidence. He was very brave to that log. For whatever reason, horses find that log to be much scarier than all the other logs. He was a very good boy. And I like the balance that he cantered over that last one in. So this is our big grand finale. We jumped down the line of logs against the road. And he couldn't have been better. He actually jumped that last one really nicely. And then this one's scary because it's got a little U in it and it's right next to this bigger black pipe. He was great about that. Landed in a nice right lee canter. And then this last one here is even scarier because you're jumping right up into the trees here on the other side of the field. But he was super. So then we just spun it around and came back home. What I really like about him is that he's a very careful jumper. He's always very aware of where his feet are. He takes his time to make sure he understands. But for a careful jumper, he's also extremely brave. Like as long as he understands the question and what his feet should be doing, he is all in. And then we had a bigger jump than I wanted.